Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's keeping well and having a good day so far. I've got so much to say, people, so much to say about this club. But first of all, I need to apologise. I need to apologise to Ange. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for not believing in you, Ange. I hope you can accept my apology. You know, you beat Villa, you beat Man City. I was so wrong. So wrong. And I hope you can forgive me. Not. I'm not sorry at all. I'm not sorry. No way. I'm not apologising for what I think about Ange and how and where this club is going right now. It's not good enough. Yes, fantastic result against Villa, fantastic result against City, but that we've proven nothing yet. Absolutely nothing. And until this team starts getting on a run, showing some consistency, especially away from home, I'm going to be going to continue to question the manager, question the club, question the players, the signings. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to stop. If this team can get some consistency, if it can show me something that I'm not seeing, then I may change my mind. But at this moment of time, beating Villa and beating City doesn't fool me. I'm not convinced, nowhere near convinced about this team doing well this year. Look, the Villa game, it was a fantastic second half performance. And you have to big up Ange for that and for the players. Nobody expected it to be 4-1. I don't think anyone did. People thought we might win. People thought we might lose. But to beat them by that scoreline, 4-1, was, unexpected. And I was very happy. I was buzzing. You know, when them goals were going in. It was, this is what I want to see. I want to jump off my seat. We properly smashed them. And fair play to them. But that's where it ends there for me. I celebrated the victory. I enjoyed listening to what everybody had to say afterwards. But what I've been seeing and reading and hearing is that anybody who doubts Ange or players like Solanke, for example, told you so. What is that all about? Look, people can be ultra positive about Ange. They can believe in him. Ange Believers. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you have your opinion. But what is this whole, having to go back at people who see it differently? Anybody watching, any Ange Believers, any Ange Hopers, please tell me. Because many people are doubting this whole process at the moment. And for the ultra positive fans, are you ignoring that part? You just don't want to think about it? You just I'll be good. I'm really interested to know because the stats, the results, the facts are all there staring in front of us. Yes, we have a good home record this season so far, bar the Arsenal defeat. But our away from home form this season and last season has been shocking and not been good enough. Yes, we have a mentality issue with the team. Spurs have always had a mentality issue. But Ange is the manager now, and it's up to him to change that mentality. Ange, for me, does not help himself in games, especially away from home. Let's look at the fixtures so far this season, and let's have a look at the points dropped. We're going to start off with that Leicester game. Now, Leicester we played really well in the first half. We went a goal up. Started the second half well. We just needed to get that second goal to kill the game. But we just didn't, guys, did we? We just didn't. And Leicester got a goal out of nowhere. Poor marking. Vardy was free, an injured Vardy was free. And they did equalise. Now, you could put it down, it was the first game of the season, a bit rusty, whatever. You know, I wasn't happy that Leicester got back into it. Leicester could have even won that game, to be honest. They had a couple of decent chances. So that was the drop points, 2 drop points in that game. So the next game we came up against was, let me tell you now, it was Newcastle away. What had we learned? What have we learned from that defeat from last season when we got absolutely smashed? That's what I was looking for in that match. We started the game really well, lots of possession, creating chances, but where was the clinical finishing? Where was it? We just didn't have it, did we? Newcastle were clinical that day, ruthless. 2 goals, 2-1. We couldn't get back in the game. Could Ange done better with that team? Could he made changes to get a better result? Quite possibly. It's early in the season. First drop points. And that was after a good win against Everton at home. Then after that, the next away fixture was at Brighton. A game where we completely dominated that first half, played some fantastic football. Second half comes along, and we just completely lost the plot. And what infuriated me in that game was Ange. Ange stood there, he watched, didn't make any changes, any tactical adjustments. He saw what happened. The Brighton manager made a tactical adjustment at half time. Ange stood there and did nothing. And it was just not good enough to concede 3 goals and to lose a game where we were in total control of and should have had 3 points. So I'm looking at it so far. Drop points at Leicester, drop 2 points. Newcastle, you know, people say that possession doesn't mean anything unless you win. I get that. But we did create some chances in that game. And if we were more clinical, I think we could have got a win. Definitely not a loss. So let's say, just be fair with that one. We've dropped a point. Yeah. So that so far is 3 points dropped. Brighton, 3 points dropped for me. When you're 2-0 up away from home, you need to be winning that game and seeing that out. Yes, Brighton are a good side. They were at home. They rallied. But for me, if we're a team learning, if we're a team trying to get better, it should have been 3 points. So what's that now? 5 points lost so far away from home. And then there was the Palace game. Palace set up well. They had a game plan. We just couldn't get going at all in that first half. Second half, Palace were 1 up. They could have scored 2 or 3 more. They didn't. Ange changed it, made a very strange decision to take off all your creative players. And we just weren't good. And it was a very, very disappointing result against the Palace, who at that stage had not won a game this season. So, and that was another, I think that's a 3 points drop, to be honest. I think we should have been going to Palace and winning. So what's that now? 8 points dropped away from home. I just think Ange could have made better decisions in those games. Less we can look at the transfer window and see that, the new players that we brought in are, other than Solanke, there's not really any change to this team. So 8 points dropped. Yes, we lost at home to Arsenal, which was a tough game. Arsenal defended well, but we just weren't clinical enough up front or created any real good chances in that match. So if I look at this now, if I look at the league table, let's just get the league table up. That's 8 points, 8 points onto 16, which leads us to 22 points. We could have 22 points and be third in the table. But because of Ange and the way he's setting us up away from home, the lack of, when things are tough or not going well, the poor decision making, the team's poor mentality. Look, there's a lot of issues right now at Spurs. And let's go back to the results of the last two games. We did well against Manchester City. We put in a shift. Man City didn't have their strongest team, but they still had a good side out there. They gave us a tough match, dominated possession. We were clinical. We played a good game on the counter attack. So it does show you that this team can play differently. I think more of that was Man City forced us into that way, forced us back because of all their possession. But it was a good result, and we move on to the next round against Man United. Then we played Villa again. First half, I thought Villa set up excellently. They really set up tight. They had a game plan, like a lot of managers and teams do when they play Spurs. At half time, I was thinking, well, what is Ange going to do? He didn't do anything. He didn't make any changes. But we did come out flying out the blocks in that second half. And we took the game to Villa. Fantastic cross from Son. Johnson got in the box. What he has been doing this season. 1-1. A little bit later, we took Son off, which everybody was disappointed, but it was due to him trying not to get him injured, so I understand that. We got another goal, a very well worked goal actually. Sarr, who was fantastic yesterday. Kulusevski with a cute little ball into Solanke, and Solanke finished well. This is what we need to see from Solanke. He needs to be in the box. He needs to get goals. Third goal followed. Sarr putting Solanke through with another finish, 3-1, and then that fantastic Maddison free kick. As I said earlier, it was unexpected and a very good result. Now, we've got a couple of games coming up. Galatasaray away. I'm not really thinking too much about that game because it's going to be a very young team out there. We've got quite a few injuries. Ange is going to rest players. It's going to be a little bit messy. I don't really expect us to do a lot in that match. Be good experience for the youngsters. And then we're at home to Ipswich, which surely is a must-win game. Look, this whole thing about Ange and why I'm not convinced. I had a discussion today with a fan who's very, very positive about Ange. And he, he did give me a good argument of why he felt like that. It was like, you need to give a manager time. This is a second season. He said, we might not do very much this season. We might just try and win a cup. But I put it back to him. I said, well, but why can't we do anything in the league? Surely Ange's second season, we should be progressing and definitely not, going backwards. If you look at the results compared to last season, we're 10 points worse off than the first 10 games of last season. Why is that? people, why is that? Why is that going on? Why is there such a big points difference? Obviously, last season we were flying. We started very well. Teams weren't prepared for us, and then in the second part of the season, a lot of teams worked us out. There is that, of course. But what he was saying was he was happy with the Ange's style of play. But then I questioned him about, Ange saying that this season, that he wants to challenge for the title. I said, well, why is he saying that? Because, looking at the season as it started so far, we've not been any better. We look, well, a team what's not improving. Yes, the home form's been good, but the away form continues to be a problem. And game management continues to be a problem. He was like, let me think now. He was like, yeah, but you've got to give him time. You've got to let the new players bed in. Give him time. He was talking about other managers. They needed time to get their system going and to bring players in. I questioned the signings with him. He said, look, yeah, we do need more signings. I said to him, are you an Ange believer? He said, no, I'm not an Ange believer. I said, do you believe that Ange is going to be successful at Spurs? He wouldn't give us an answer. He said, I can't say that, but I'm an Ange hoper. I hope it's all going to work out. He says, what's any use of sacking another manager? How's that going to help us? At least we've got the attacking football, he says. Look at the performance yesterday. Fantastic. Look at beating Manchester City. I was over the moon. And I get that. I tried to talk to him about the away form and the points difference. He dismissed it. You can't win every week. Teams are going to drop points. He pointed towards City losing. He pointed towards Arsenal losing. He was very much behind Ange, very positive about him. And it was interesting. It was an interesting conversation. It went back and forth. He had his own argument. I had mine. I'm not convinced yet, I said to him, until I see us building some consistency in performances and results. I'm going to continue to question things. And I will do so. I said to him, what was it now? Just lost my train of thought. I said, what is the issue with the consistency? He just kind of said, look, you can't win every game. There's hard games. We should have beaten Newcastle. We should have beaten Leicester. We should have beaten Brighton. Should have beaten Palace. We're unlucky. I said to him, look, you can't just be unlucky. That doesn't work like that. We did not deserve to win those games. And it's got to improve. The consistency got to improve. Another thing he threw up was he threw up something else as well in the conversation. I don't know what's happening with my memory, guys. I must be a bit tired, but there was something else he said which was quite key to this little debate we were having. I don't know. It might come back to me. Please, people, what do Spurs need to do to be consistent? If you don't believe in Ange and you don't think it's going to work out, please tell us why. And for the Ange believers, Ange hopers, what are you holding on to? What are you seeing? How do you answer that poor away form? I think it's like 4 away wins in 14 matches. How can we account for that? Are we going to go on a run where we win 3, 4, 5 in a row in the Premier League? Let's come back to me now. You said we were in a winning run of 9 wins out of 11 or something like that. I said to him, yes, obviously that's including the cup matches. He said, but look, we didn't have Europe last year. We got more games. Maybe that's why we're dropping points. I said to him, but we're playing like, a mixed team. We're not playing the whole first team in these matches. We're using the squad. Surely the squad's not tired yet after 14, 15 games of the season so far. I didn't agree with that. I kept trying to point towards the league form, because the league form is the real true reflection on how we are doing this season. The cup matches so far in Europe have been pretty easy matches, and we've gotten away with it by playing the second string team. Been tight, it's been close at times. Yes, the Manchester City result was fantastic, and I'm so happy that we went through. So for me, I'm just going to finish up now. Consistency is needed, improvement in away form. Until that happens, I just do not think we're going to be able to push up that league table. The cups for me, we do have a chance. And until we're out of them, we've definitely got a chance to win one of those competitions. Do I believe that we will? No, not based on the last 17 years, where in crucial moments we've missed out. We've fallen short, and that's due to many a reason: manager, players, not big enough squad, etc., etc. Levy not backing managers. We could go on. I do not think the board have fully backed Ange this summer. They have not. No way. I feel Ange is going along with it. Maybe he has no choice. It's either that or leave. But that transfer window has not helped us one little bit this season. It has not. We haven't really seen those young players in the Premier League. Ange, he's looked at the bench and he hasn't brought them on when we need to get back in a game, get a goal, try and save some points away from home. He hasn't relied on them. He stuck to the more experienced players. I think this team lacks leaders. I continue to say that. It lacks experience of winning. If I was a manager at Spurs, and in that summer transfer window, I would be choosing players that could help this team. Give us that some more stability when the going gets tough. Help some of the younger players around them. But it is what it is. This is what we've got. Are we just going to be happy with these home wins and dismiss the away losses? No, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not. What will happen for the rest of the season? What are people's predictions? Where do you think we're going to finish? Please leave your comments. Do you think we're going to win a cup, or do you think we're going to fall short? When we go in to the new year, depending on injuries, depending on if we're still in the Carabao Cup, we should be still in Europe. I do think we'll definitely qualify into the knockout rounds. When it comes to crunch time in the new year, does anybody believe that Ange is the man who's going to get us over the line with this team? Do people truly believe in this team, that they can show the fight, they can show some bottle to make up, or not make up, but to be something different from the past 17 years. Has the Ange Believers, the Ange Hopers, do you see that? Do you see us lifting the trophy? Do you see us challenging for European positions this season? Do you see us improving as a side? Time will tell. I'll be back tonight, Beyond the Lane, episode 7, with Nige Purecoys and special guest Harry Scarf. Please come down and join us. We're going to be reviewing the game against Villa. We're going to go over it. We're going to be discussing the forthcoming games against Galatasaray and Ipswich. We're going to be doing Ange Watch. And we'll probably be talking a lot more about our away form, our inconsistencies. I hope to see you all there. Please comment. Please like, share and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.